Alright, good morning. Happy Monday. Hope we all had a good weekend. We're going to be learning about one of my favorite artists, Frida Kahlo. So I'm not going to go too much into her history because today's art project takes a little bit of time. But I want to let you guys know that she's most famous for her portraits, not her still lifes. But I really enjoy her still life paintings. I'm going to get into detail about what a still life is. So here's a picture of Frida, and she's painting a portrait, and she often painted portraits of herself because when she was younger, a younger woman, she got in a car accident and she couldn't walk. So to pass the time, she started painting. So here's a picture of Frida, and here is a portrait that she did of herself. If you notice, there's a lot of tropical leaves and animals around her. She did grow up in Mexico, and Mexico is a very tropical country and continent. So Coyoacán is a southern city in Mexico, and that is where she grew up. And they're also very known for their papayas. Papayas originated in Mexico and the Americas, and it's one of the largest exports of Mexico are papayas. And avocados. There's plenty of fruits and vegetables that Mexico produces that they're known for. So yeah, she grew up towards the bottom, the central area of Mexico. Here is an example of some of Frida's still lifes. So a still life is drawing typically fruits or objects that are still. So in Europe, they would often draw still lifes of fish or meat they caught and European fruit. But Frida didn't live in Europe, so she would draw more tropical fruits. And she often hinted to Mexico's flag or would have some sayings in Spanish scrolled at the bottom of her artwork. And she often depicted more colorful sort of still lifes, and blue backgrounds were very popular for her, which was kind of a signature of Frida's still lifes. She would also either put a bat or a bird in most of her still lifes. So to further explain what a still life is, which we're going to be doing, this is Frida's still life. On the side you can see that there's bananas, oranges, watermelons, and then a sun and a bird. It's kind of more abstract, kind of more whimsical, more dreamy. And then we have Edward Lebel, and he is a European still life artist, and you can see that those fruits are less vibrant in color and more of a European kind of diet. So we got peaches, plums, grapes, raspberries, wine. So it's just different types of fruit because they grew up in different parts of the world. And here is one more example of Frida's still lifes. Now we're going to focus on the papaya for the younger group of kids. Papayas are a tropical fruit that originated in southern Mexico and Central America. And this is what a papaya looks like. Now the cool thing about papayas are you can eat their seeds, and they have a lot of them, and they're very slimy. They're kind of like boba, but crunchy. If you've ever had a boba drink, that's what they remind me of. And they actually kind of taste like pepper. So if you bite into the seed, it tastes like pepper. The fruit doesn't taste like pepper. The fruit tastes, I think, really good. It's kind of like a mix between like a banana and an orange. I don't know, kind of like the texture of a banana. But I really enjoy papayas. I bought a papaya last week at Trader Joe's, and I enjoyed eating it. So we're going to enjoy drawing it. So we're not going to have a warm-up today, and we are just going to go straight into our artwork. And we should all have a piece of black construction paper cut in half. If you have a larger one, that's fine. And I'm going to go ahead and switch my camera. We're going to need it in portrait mode. Frida was known for portraits, so we're going to do ours in portrait mode. This is landscape, and we're going to do ours in portrait. what you need to grab is your white oil pastel. So for the white oil pastel, we're going to have to make a shape that looks like a papaya. And the way we're going to start our shape is, well, first, I don't want a tiny papaya, right? We want a large papaya. So we're going to put a little mark right here, and we're going to put a little mark right here, because that's how large we're going to have our papaya. And if you don't have a white oil pastel, you can use a gray pastel. It will work about the same. And you're just going to find the center of your page. So there's the center, about the center. So you should have 1, 2, and 3. You should have 3 lines. And once you have those 3 lines, you're just going to go ahead and draw a light circle. It doesn't have to be very dark. We're just kind of outlining what our papaya is going to look like. Our papaya is kind of like a teardrop shape or a pear shape. And once you have your circle, you're going to go ahead and come to the top, and you're just going to come down and make a pear shape, sort of like a teardrop. So you're going to go ahead and make a little line like this, like a little hat or a little frowny face. Then you're going to go ahead and bring that line down like that. Kind of like an avocado. You know what? It's more of the shape of an avocado. I guess if we wanted to draw an avocado, we'd be doing the same thing, huh? Alright, and then just give it one nice big outline, like that. And then we're going to put away our white oil pastel. And we're going to grab the dark green. So we should all have a light green and a dark green. Like I said, papayas originated in Mexico, but now they're grown almost anywhere where there's tropical weather. And tropical weather is where it's warm and humid and rainy all the time. When I went to Mexico, in Guadalajara, there was a lot of thunderstorms at night. Every night there's a thunderstorm. So we're just going to take our dark green, and we're just going to go ahead and trace over that white with our dark green. And we're going to go ahead and give it kind of like a little outline of dark green. So I'm going to go ahead, I hope you see what I did. It's kind of hard to see with the dark green. But you're just going to kind of go, give it some dark green all the way around the white trim we did, and a little past it. This is going to be where the papaya skin is. The papaya is green, and the more ripe it becomes, the more yellow and orange it becomes. So we're just doing a stripe of dark green. Hope everyone can see that all right. It's not very thick. It's about as thick as a pencil, or maybe 2. Like I said, papaya seeds do taste like pepper, and they're really good for your stomach. They have probiotics, And probiotics are those really good bacteria, those good kind of bugs you want. Alright, after you've done your green, your dark green, you're going to find your light green, your lime green, which is one of Miss C's favorite colors. My bedroom used to be this color. I really enjoy it. And we're going to do another strip or another line that kind of goes over and kind of mixes. So it's okay if they mix. And you're just going to do another line. And this is going to look a lot like an avocado, but I promise it's going to turn into a papaya. But at least now you know how to draw a avocado as well, right? Avocados are also a native plant to Mexico. Okay, so once you have something like that, it's okay to mix that light green into your dark green. It's okay to overlap those. It's called blending. Blending is when you mix those two colors on top of each other. And what you need to find next is your peach color. So it's not your pink. We're going to use pink later. We're going to use our peach color. Even though they call it pale orange, I guess a peach is a pale orange, but we're going to go ahead and get our peach color. And we're just going to go ahead and color in the whole middle section. And you can do it kind of light. We're just giving it a nice base color because this will help with our blending. You don't have to do it very hard. You don't have to do a lot of it. We're just trying to make a nice base color that will help with the other colors we're going to add. So once you're done with that, put it down. And I want you to go ahead and find your rusty yellow. So this is your rusty yellow, this is your bright yellow. We're going to use the rusty yellow. And we're going to make a thin line that goes around our light green line. So we should have lightly gone over everything with our peach color, which we're going to use again. So I'm just going to leave my peach out. But you don't have to. You're just going to do a little light, skinny line all the way around where your lime green line is. And it's okay for them to overlap and go on top of each other. Remember, we want to blend. We want those colors to blend. So I just used my peach, colored in the center with the peach. I did one line of the rusty yellow. Remember, we're working big, so your papaya should be taking up most of your page. And you're going to go ahead and find your pink. And this time with your pink, we're going to do something a little different. So we've been going around in this sort of avocado shape. But this time what you're going to do is you're going to make lines that go towards the center of your papaya. And then you're just going to stop before you get to the middle of the papaya. So you're just going to grab your pink pastel. We're using pink, not peach, but pink. And you're just going to make a whole bunch of little dashed lines all the way around your papaya. It's going to make it look really tasty. I really enjoy papaya's texture. I don't know if you guys have ever had papaya, but I really enjoy papaya and how they taste. They're good for your stomach. So the purpose of a still life is to try to make it look as realistic as you can, because they were popular to paint still lifes before cameras were invented. So that's why still lifes were so popular, because how are they going to capture food and fruits that's spoiled? If they didn't own a camera, they'd have to paint it. And the reason Frida would paint tropical fruits like limes and papayas was because she lived in Mexico, which is a tropical area. But most of the still lifes we see are from Europe, so they have more European kind of fruit like peaches and raspberries and strawberries. Okay. So I'm done with my pink. And I'm going to go ahead and grab my handy dandy peach color. Even though we're not drawing a peach, we're going to use our peach color. And you're going to just start with the same thing. And you're going to go ahead and mix it with the pink. It's okay if your peach color goes on top or mixes with the pink. We want the mixing. We want the blending. You're just going to color in that whole thing. Like that. And I'm even going to start on the edges. I'm going to go ahead and put this peach color everywhere, cover up any of that black paper we might still see. Remember, we're not coloring left and right or up and down. We're doing like little strokes, little tiny little marks. Kind of makes this nice little noise when you do it. Okay. I'm going to give you a few minutes to do that. And then our next thing we're going to do is kind of clean up the green skin and maybe put some orange right here, because papaya's skin is green and orange. And then we're definitely going to need our black. So let's take out our black and our orange, because those are the next colors we're going to use. I'm going to go ahead and put these colors away. We're just going to need our orange and black next. Okay. So if you're still working on the pink and the peach color in the middle, that's okay. I just want you to go ahead and look at Miss C and see what she's going to do. You're going to grab your orange. So when you look at a papaya, it's not completely green. There's going to be little patches of orange, little patches of yellow. And I'm just going to pick random spots. I'm going to just do a little bit of orange right here. And then I'm going to go ahead and kind of like bring it to the edge of my paper like this. Oh, sorry guys. Bring it to the edge of my paper like this. Then I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of orange towards the top to show that it's kind of a ripe papaya. Because if it doesn't have the orange, put a little orange right here, then we don't know it's ripe. And to blend that all in, after you do like 2 or 3 spots, you're going to come back with your dark green, and you're just going to blend that in. Maybe your papaya might come a little bit bigger after this because you're kind of going outside of your lines. That's okay. Big papayas are a good thing. We're just going over everything again with our dark green. This is called layering. This is another way of blending. We're blending the orange that we added. And we need to add the orange because it will give the peel more dimension. And we want dimension because we want it to look nice and ripe. So I add a little bit of dark green. I'm going to go ahead and add a little more of the light green. So you're basically doing the same thing you did to the peel, but now you can kind of make it a little more vibrant. The lighting in this office does not do this justice, but it does look a lot better outside of fluorescent lighting. Okay, so now we need to add those sticky seeds. So they're slimy, they kind of remind me of boba, and what do they taste like? They taste like pepper, and they're really good for digestive system. I actually bought a papaya, like I said, at Trader Joe's, and I opened it up, and it didn't have any seeds. And I was like, very weird, very strange. So I want you to think of what size. They're not going to be as large as boba, so we know what tapioca boba looks like. It's a little bit smaller, and you're going to start in the center. You're not going to start on the sides or up at the top or up at the bottom. You're going to start exactly in the center, and you're just going to do a cute little black dot. And then you're going to move a little far away and do another little black dot. So you should have your pink and your peach in the middle. You should have gone over your green peel with a little bit of orange and gone over it again with those two green colors to make it more vibrant. And now we're just going to add seeds. And they're not very big. They're not very big. You kind of just do them close together, but not touching. And you're just going to add them in the center of your papaya. And we kind of need a lot of them because papayas have a lot of seeds. And if you notice, I'm trying to keep all the seeds to the center. And our final touch is we're going to use our rusty yellow. So I'm going to go ahead and put back all my other colors and just leave that rusty yellow color. We're actually going to add some blue too, but we'll do the yellow first. So once you have a good amount of seeds, we need to blend our yellow into our pink. Can't even count how many seeds I did. But you're going to put a good amount, and they're towards the center, so they're not going to go out to the edges. They're in the middle of your papaya. Okay. We're going to go ahead. Hopefully you're all good with your seeds. If I can proceed to the next step, we're almost done. And what you're going to do is you're going to grab your rusty yellow, and we're going to do that same thing where we make small little lines. And you're just going to do the small little lines going into the pink. And they don't have to be very long. You're just going all the way around to kind of blend in the pink and the yellow. So go ahead and do that all the way around. Some good blending techniques. And this is going to make our fruit look more real and like a still life. And the very last thing we're going to do is you have to find your dark blue. So we have 3 blues. You're going to find your darkest blue. And we need to pick what side is our shadow side. Because what makes fruit look three-dimensional and realistic is a shadow. So we're going to add a little bit of a shadow. So I'm going to let everyone catch up and have that yellow added. Kind of blend everything in. And you're just going to pick one side, either the right side or the left side. And you're going to start at the bottom. About halfway, and you're just going to trace a small line up one side of your papaya, not both sides, just the one side. And you're just starting from the bottom, and you're going to move your way all the way up to the very top, and then stop. This is going to give your papaya a little bit of a shadow, a little more dimension. And to soften that blue line, you're going to grab your dark green. So hopefully we all have our dark green. And we're just going to go over the dark blue with our dark green, kind of soften that line up. So I'm going right on top of the dark blue with my dark green. So I'm just going right on top. just like that. Because we are blending that color. We want that color to blend with the others. It's going to make our papaya look more three-dimensional. Okay. Okay. And we are pretty much done. Some other little tiny things you can do is grab a white pastel and you can do little tiny dots like that to kind of make your seeds look like they're slimy or wet. So I'm just going whoop, little dots of white. It's just you press down and lift up, press down and lift up, press down and lift up. And it'll make the seeds look a little more juicy, I guess. So that's one thing you can do. We also need to sign our names, either on the front or back. Probably on the back. Misty's going to sign hers on the front. Like that.